Greetings and salutations from central Louisiana. It is a cool, nice, pleasant morning here, just a few miles west of Dry Prong, and I'm looking today at this Ford Jubilee. I have not really rolled it in to do any major work on it. I'm trying to see if I can't get it to kick off, and it appears I've got electrical problems. The battery seems to be hot. I'm having trouble tracing some of the other circuits. I've got some corrosions, I'm sure, on connections, but I'll put it clearly. I've turned the key on, hit the start button, and it went eck, and that's where it stopped. So I am hoping it's electrical. If it's not going to be good, because that would mean that the starter is pushing up against the flywheel for pistons that are seized, but I don't think that's the case here, but I'm going to use that as my last case, worst case scenario. If it comes to that, I will roll it up and see if I can spin the wheels on the rear while it's in gear and see if I can get the pistons to move without any problems. But right now I'm working on the solenoid. I think is my big problem, because I'm going to pull it off and I'm going to test the windings on it to see where it's at, and I strongly suspect that we will be going to the parts house to get a new solenoid, which that would be the best outcome of all this, just have to replace the solenoid. But let's look down here at what we got. All right, I have a rat's nest of wiring. I did take the switch loose so I can get to it and test the continuity on it to see if it was a good switch or not. I have got all sorts of interesting things back and forth around. I took the battery cables loose last night. I didn't want to leave the battery on in case I had a short somewhere in it and they'd run the battery down. Starter wire back solenoid looks good, although if you look in close here, you can see that the connections on the solenoid are kind of corroded, so that wouldn't help as well. But it held on by 2 bolts. I'm going to pull it loose and take it in and test the windings on the interior of that solenoid. See if that's the problem. If not, we'll move on, but hopefully that is the problem and I will get a new one today or tomorrow. So I did, however, rebuild the carb. Nice, pretty primer color now. Still got the intake covered up to keep the varmints out of it. When I was digging around here, I did find out there is a bird's nest up in here now, which is probably not helping to contribute to my problems, but I've prattled on enough this morning. I will get this out sometime later. Wish me luck, because I do have a lot of interesting wiring to deal with. Someone tried to rewire this at some point in time, and it is a typical Rube Goldberg wiring job. I'll have to go back and trace all the wires and probably replace a lot of them, but hey, that's part of the fun with dealing with an old tractor.